Hello and welcome back to the World of Warcraft Legion beta servers. Today we will be playing the Subtlety spec for Rogues, the new Subtlety spec, and we've skipped the opening scenarios and all the quests, gone straight to Dalaran as you can see. And what we'll do is we'll get started right away.
Need help?
It is good to see you on your feet. The members of the Council of Six are recuperating from their ordeal. The intensity of the teleportation spell can be disorienting. It seems you lost consciousness for a time, but at least you didn't awaken to find yourself stuck in a wall. Dalaran has been relocated to the Broken Isles. From here, we will spearhead the effort to acquire the Pillars of Creation and drive the Legion from Azeroth once and for all. And as you can see, you get your Dalaran Hearthstone. This is basically your new Garrison Hearthstone for this expansion, and 5 tomes of the Tranquil Mind, which are super useful.
Light bless you.
They allow you to change your talents while not in combat, out in the world, in dungeons, and in raids. As you can see, I do not have any quests on my bar, and I don't have any in the world for me to pick up. So to get started on your artifact quest, you're just going to run around Dalaran a little bit, and eventually they will come to you with your quest. I do want to point out that in the description, if you're looking for something in particular, I will have annotations as to the times you can jump to see those specific things that I'm going to cover in the video. So if you're interested in just animations or just abilities, go ahead and you can skip to that. If not, welcome for the entire video. And here we go.
Need help?
My masters gave me strict instructions to deliver this letter to you as quickly as possible. Its contents are for you and you alone. Good luck.
See you around.
And we'll click on the letter right here.
Your presence is requested in the Hall of Shadows at once. Enter the glorious goods storefront and utter "The Raven calls" to Red. He will show you the way. Come alone and ensure you are not followed. The eyes of the uncrowned are upon you.
Okay,
Looking
and
for
here
something
is Red.
specific?
The Raven calls.
Have a good one.
And the door to the Rogue Class Hall is now open to us. This is the Hall of Shadows. This is where... Ooh, we got a little bit of lag spike there. Sorry about that. This is where you will spend a lot of your time as a rogue. You will spend it down here. This is where your test dummies are, your training dummies, so you can test your damage and test different pieces of your spec are down here. You'll also come down here to set off your garrison missions and such. And special to the Rogue Class Hall, Madame Gosu
You have
will
come
be
to
here
the right
for the Black
place.
Market Auction House, so you'll have your own Black Market Auction House here. And we'll talk about some of the Class Hall things later. There's some things that I can't talk about, number one, because we won't have enough time to get into that, and number two, because they're not available to us until after you've done some quests. This is how it'll look when you walk up. The doors will be closed. You click right here on the wall to open the doors up, and hit down for the
There's
RP.
our final member. Welcome to the crew.
Don't worry. They're friendlier than they look.
I'm pleased you chose to heed our call. We've discussed inviting you into our ranks for some time.
Your reputation precedes you. Apologies for the secrecy. We simply could not risk the wrong person finding us here. You walk in the halls of the uncrowned. We are the slayers of kings, the downfall of empires, the unseen blades that write the true history of this world. Seated before you are the Shadows, the council which aims the blades of the uncrowned wherever our will demands. We have brought you here today with an offer. Take your seat as the final Shadow and help us lead the uncrowned. What do you say?
Was that all? We're offering you a seat at our table. Take it, and your questions will be answered. You have but to sit.
Smart choice.
We are the Shadows, leaders of the uncrowned. We employ a variety of methods to ensure the safety of Azeroth and to secure our rightful place within it. Not the least of these methods is secrecy. As our title suggests, we prefer to stay in the shadows. But the events at the Broken Shore have forced our hand. We haven't the time for subtlety. We invite you to this table because we are confident you have the skills it takes to face this threat directly, and to prevail. Settle in, then we can discuss the details.
Good to have a new face at the table. I was getting tired of Tethys's ugly mug. No offense, Tethys.
None taken. So long as you don't insult me face.
I have heard many tales of your accomplishments. I can't imagine half of them could be true.
We operate where
Welcome to
others
the Uncrowned
cannot.
Shadow.
Until next time, that insignia marks you as one of us. Carry it with you always.
For quite some time, we've been looking for someone who can operate outside these halls. You are the answer to that search. You will be the blade in the dark that vanquishes our foes. In order to do so, you require weapons capable of striking down the Legion's best. Greymane, Tethys, and Valera each have devised plans to obtain weapons worthy of the tasks to come. I suggest you hear each out before proceeding.
All in good time. Consider your choice carefully.
Give me your ear, friend. I got a plan that's guaranteed to put worthy blades in them hands.
I'm close to locating a foe we've been hunting for years. With a bit of help, we can take her out and lay claim to her daggers.
The Kingslayers are the only way to ensure the Legion's end. Hear me out. Let's talk.
I plan to acquire the cursed daggers that took down King Lane Rin. Garona hid the Kingslayers for good reason. Their power is not to be underestimated. I need your help to retrieve them. These storied blades are just what we need to destroy Gul'dan and his foul allies. And that is for
Take care.
the assassination rogue.
Good to see you.
Just after the cataclysm, one of me best discovered a pair of golden cutlasses unlike anything you ever seen before. The moment Eliza touched them, she had a vision of herself conquering city after city, commanding a crew of lost souls. You may doubt such a grand tale, but it indeed came to pass. The Dreadblades have claimed countless souls, and now we're coming for them. And that is for the outlaw spec.
Take
Let's
it easy.
talk.
After the fall of Sargeras' hound Gormaw, his dreadlords took the beast's fangs and forged them into a pair of daggers known as the Fangs of the Devourer. It's said they still carry the monster's bite. Sargeras called upon one of his top assassins to wield the fangs, an Eridar named Akari's Shadowgore. Despite our best attempts, we haven't been able to stop her.
They'll never see me
And that
coming.
is for what we will be doing here today, for the Subtlety room.
What is it?
And
All
there
according
is
to
our
plan.
UI that we will get when we pick our initial weapon. So as you can see, there's Assassination, Outlaw, and Subtlety. I have these videos up already for the Assassination and the Outlaw. If you're interested in those, check those out. But for the purposes of this video, we'll be doing Subtlety, and you can pick these up, by the way, later on in the expansion. After you've hit certain levels, you can go back and pick these up as well and start changing specs if that's what you want to do, or if you just want to have off-spec weapons. There you go. So, the Legion now boast one. Wow. Let me start again. The Legion now boast one Akari Shadowgore, an Eridar assassin unlike any we've seen. Her daggers twist the very air around their wielder to conceal them in shadow. We have intelligence pointing to her current location. Now is the time to strike. And this is what will be after the Fangs of the Devourer, Gorefang and Akari's will. Okay. Select and get started.
You have my ear.
Well chosen.
Until
We're
next
finally
time.
closing in on her after all these years.
The Fangs of the Devourer are wielded by Akari Shadowgore, one of Kil'jaeden's personal assassins. Every attempt on her life ends the same. She's gone before we arrive. Valera scrawls a few lines on a piece of paper, then hands it to you. But not this time. We've been working with these contacts to find Akari so we can finally take the Fangs for our own purposes. Go to each contact and tell them, the shadows reveal. See what they know.
Farewell. I'll meet you upstairs in glorious goods when you're done. Another one of Khadgar's dogs has been nosing around, asking too many questions.
Okay. So, let's head up there. Apparently, we can go down this way. I'm hoping that we don't die. The Tunnel of Woe. Where does this lead? I've not been here before, so hopefully this isn't leading me Somewhere horrible. Which I feel like it is. I feel like we're about to fall out of the world. And sure enough, we are. Okay, well, I'll take this time to talk about a little bit about this spec. This spec does not have poisons. As you can tell, there are no poisons on my bar, and I don't have any on my weapons. Poisons are now only assassination. Outlaw rogues and subtlety rogues no longer have the object to put poisons on their weapons. It's made up for with other abilities. Let's go ahead and exit to Dalaran. There we go. Okay, now we're up where we're supposed to be. So let's hop on a mount, and we'll head this way first. Seems to be inside this building? Or is it the building next door? Appears it's the building next door. I've disappeared. That's how good of a subtlety rogue I am. Here we go.
What can I do for you? See you around.
Nothing to share, I'm afraid. The wine gets people talking, but sometimes they just don't have anything useful to say. Say, care for some moist Azunian feta while you're here? Has a lovely tangy flavor. Moist. I love that word. So, let's head over here. It's showing someone close by. Who are we looking for? Valzun. Is he inside here? Let's see if we can target him. Oh, it appears the game has crashed. So I will... And here's Valzun.
I am listening. We shall see. It seems fate is on your side. Akari is in this very city as we speak, spying for her masters. I will gladly tell you where, in exchange for a rune of portals. Until then, our business is complete.
Okay, so now we have to head back up top. I don't know what these are. Not quite sure. Something important, maybe? The game bugged out a little bit. Let's get rid of some of this junk. And we have to go find Desmond Grave Sorrow. Who seems to be over near the Violet Citadel. I'm not quite sure where. Showing him back here. Caution. Aha. Okay, well that was a little bit easier than I assumed it would be. That's pretty decent. Desmond Lockbox, let's check that. Some Subtlety. So for those of you who remember playing Rogue, by the way, you can buy the recipe for this in the Rogue Class Order Hall and make them. I believe you can make them, so. Subtlety. Awesome. So we'll click on him, search the body for clues. Nothing here. Okay. Now we'll go turn this back in at our Rogue Class Hall and proceed. A gentleman only wanted a rune of portal, so I assume we'll be heading back to him very shortly. Subtlety. I used to love this on Rogues back in the day. All of you Rogues who played back in the early days will remember that. How overpowered that was. Okay. Oh, we're heading back down into our class order hall. The cloaked vestibule. Wow. Wow. I'm getting tired. I am sorry. I'm assuming we're heading back to Valera. Yeah, it's changed now. Heading down to Valera. We'll turn this in and see where to next.
The pleasure is mine.
Valera glances in your direction. Any luck?
Farewell. Let's talk. Without a trace.
Well, now that's confusing. Maybe we were supposed to do something we missed. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. Valera Sanguinar was supposed to be up here originally. She didn't appear, so I went back down into the class order hall. But this is where you would turn it into her and pick up the next quest.
Let's talk.
A rune of portals? Who does Vale Zoom think he is? Valera takes a deep breath. It's worth the price, but those runes aren't exactly easy to come by. Unless Archmage Cylindra, the Kirin-Tor's portal master, has a study in the center of town. We rogues aren't particularly welcome there, nor would she simply hand a rune over even if we were. Valera smirks, but who said anything about asking?
All DLs stay in the shadows to avoid detection. The Kirin-Tor are no fools.
Okay, so no idea. I mean, obviously we're stealing a portal. Not quite sure where we're supposed to go for it. It's pointing here. Okay, I see now. Grab our rune, and I'm assuming we need to haul butt out of here. Well, that was a little... that wasn't that difficult. But I appreciate that, because I'm not a great rogue.
I am listening. Make it so. Excellent. You will find Akari in the Legerdemain Lounge.
I wouldn't cross me if
Malzun
I were
actually
you.
kept his end of the bargain. I'm impressed.
They'll never see
The
me
Legerdemain
coming.
Lounge isn't far from here. We have agents nearby who can secure the area. Come prepared for a fight. Akari won't go down easily.
Farewell, Akari. Your time has come.
I'm guessing, since she went this way, that the Legerdemain Lounge is up top. I don't particularly remember Dalaran too well, but she headed up this way. So we'll assume this is where we are going. Something's happening over there.
What can I do for you?
Akari retreated upstairs as we arrived. She's all yours.
Okay, well let's get up there
I should
and
thank you.
handle it.
You've saved me the effort of finding you. Kil'jaeden will be pleased when I bring him your head. One by one, you will all fall to the fangs. Kirel Volos! Miserable worm, die!
As you can see, I'm not totally proficient. So
You have the fang?
master's so foolish.
So I apologize if I'm making you cringe as you're
The
playing
pleasure
or
is
watching.
mine.
It was a ruse.
Without a trace.
That lying demon scum. I should have known. show Valsoon what happens to people who dare cross the Uncrowned.
Aldiel Shalom. Valzoon, I will be your death!
Ooh, this lady is angry. Apparently we're heading right back to where we were. And we're on the chase. I don't know why I'm in stealth. We're RPing. We're RPing right now. The Underbelly Descent. Here we go. There's Valera.
Let's
Stop!
talk.
Stop! I did not know. I swear it. I can still help you. I can take you to Akari's stronghold.
He's lying again. I know it. But he might be our only option.
Without a trace.
Yes.
If you spare me, I can use the rune of portals you provided to open a gateway to Akari's citadel in the Twisting Nether. Of course, killing the Legion's master assassin in our own domain will be no simple feat, but surely the fangs of the Devourer are worth the risk, no? Valzoon smiles. I will guide you through the citadel once you arrive, but you will have to defeat Akari on your own.
Good. Oh, thank
I
you
wouldn't
for
cross
seeing
me if I
reason.
were you.
Well, to the Twisting Nether we go.
Dakur Shudas Erzul Kodai. It is done. The way to Shadowgore Citadel is open.
Do we just go? I guess we just go. Let's just click it. And again. There we go. Felt like there should have been some talk there.
Akari is just across the Citadel from you. With your skill, you should be able to reach her undetected.
Haha, little do you know, I have no idea what I'm doing. You overestimate my skills greatly.
Prepare yourselves, minions! Our Lord requires us on the field of battle!
Same. Okay.
Our enemies will feel the Fang's agonizing bite! They will all perish!
She has significantly more health now. But before we attack her, I'm just going to walk out here. Looks like they used the scene from Eye of Eternity out here. It's making me motion sick. Alright, let's get to it. Here we are, we're going to fight Akari Shadowgore. Hopefully I do this right.
You were dead the moment you arrived here. Try to keep up. Enough! Take them to the holding cell. Lord Kil'jaeden will be most pleased. Move out, armies of Kil'jaeden! Glory awaits!
That jailer presents an opportunity for your escape.
I need to get closer. Xeris, deal with them. We have nearly made contact.
I herald your endless torment.
It's too far away. It's too far away.
The end is inevitable.
I need to get closer.
Welcome the embrace of the twisting dark.
too far away. I need a target.
They will devour your flesh until nothing remains. The fangs are within your grasp.
Kill them, you fools! I will not be denied my destiny! Welcome, Lord of Flame. Welcome, Kill Jaden.
You have done well, Akari. You have earned my blessing. Azir Manari Kirel, Akim Manari Galad!
The Fangs. Their power is beyond comprehension. I am your humble servant, my lord.
It is time for your true test. Use the Fangs to dismantle Azeroth's kingdoms from within. Let their shattered husks pave our path to victory!
They will taste blood in your name.
Well, that was terrifying. Okay, well, she's got the same amount of health now. The blades are stronger. Let's find out what happens. Okay, here we go.
Let us finish this, once and for all! Do you feel the fangs bite, withering the flesh from your very bones? Mephistroth, guide my hand. I will not fail! I have broken entire worlds from the inside out. Azeroth will crumble! No more games! Join me in the Nether!
The Citadel has begun a self-destruct sequence. Make your way to the portal once you have the Fangs.
Okay, time to run. Let's get out of here. Where the hell's the portal? There we go. And we're back. Okay, so I'm assuming.
You made it. Well done. Valera said you would know where to meet her upon your return. Not wise to keep her waiting.
Indeed.
Until our paths cross again.
I'm guessing he'll be a part of the Rogue Quest class line or Order Hall campaign at some point again. Now that we've gotten our... well, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Now that we've gotten our awesome daggers, let's head back to our class hall and turn in the quest. And we'll take a look at some things. Some other points of interest.
Can I help you? See you later.
Doo-doo. So they're pretty neat looking. They're not too bad. I mean, we'll take a closer look at them in a minute on the actual model, but they don't look horrible. I mean, they don't look spectacular by any means. I like that animation there on the tip of the dagger itself. But being as we don't use poisons, it's kind of interesting. Alright. Back down here at the bottom. Head inside and find Valera. And we'll do some more RP.
The pleasure is
I knew
mine.
you'd succeed. I'm glad you're on our side.
They'll never see me coming.
The shadows call.
All has gone as planned. Your new blades are a testament to that. We will demand a great deal of you in the weeks and months to come, as we must, but we would be remiss if we failed to take a moment to celebrate a job well done. What do you say?
Hear, hear. I'd like to propose a toast. Today, this shadow secured the legendary Fangs of the Devourer, and in doing so, has enabled us to strike at the Legion directly. Join me in raising a glass, not only to our newest shadow, but to the dawn of a new era for the uncrowned.
Well done.
Something's off about this here brew. Ugh.
Vanessa?
They say I died in the dead mines. Fools. It's all too simple to mimic the effects of death when your assailants' minds are addled with neurotoxins. Did you know that I was favored to become the final shadow? Yet despite their assurances, every single one of them
Speak your
put their
mind.
lot in with you instead. It's a pity, really. Jirok did so much for me. He won't be happy when he comes to and finds you dead. Let's see how long you last. It's nothing personal. This is purely business. Come on. Show me the legendary fighter I've heard so much about. No. I've worked too hard to be undermined by the likes of you. Stop.
I can't
Stop!
attack that target.
No more! Oh, my head. Valera, you okay?
Van Cleef, the uncrowned still have a use for you. You have a choice. Live and serve as our newest Shadow's agent, or die where you stand.
Shockingly, I'd prefer to live.
Then it's settled. Congratulations. Van Cleef is one of our best, as you've seen firsthand. I trust you'll be true to your word, Vanessa. I'd hate to imagine your father being disappointed in you.
Perhaps the others were right.
You have my ear.
It seems you struck a nerve.
We operate where
The blades
others
you wield
cannot.
are among the most powerful in all of Azeroth, but we must always remain 2 steps ahead of the enemy. Even now their armies grow in strength, and those weapons will make you a prime target for their assassins. Speak with Marin Noggenfogger in the Uncrowned Vault next door. He recently completed a project which you will find most intriguing.
Was that all?
Okay, so we'll head next door. As you can see, Miss Vanessa Van
What
Cleef
can I do for you?
is now a friend of sorts. And we will head into the vault.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that the new shadow I see walking into my vault? Unfrickin' believable. Talk to me.
So, what can I do for you today, Master?
Hurry back!
Power, eh? You bet. I got just a thing. We managed to get our hands on a rare venom from an uncharted island deep in the South Seas. We captured as much of it as we could. I had my boys build a device that can inject the venom into weapons, but just in small quantities for now until we've got a better handle on its effects. Anywho, we got it locked up in a secure area just over there. You're free to use it, Shadow. For a price, of course.
Can't you see I'm busy here? Hey, ooh, hey, I don't want no trouble. Go right ahead. Jeez.
So, this is where we will put artifact power into our weapon. Now, we didn't take a look at the ability that we got, so we'll take a look at it now. This is Gormaw's Bite. This is your usable ability granted to you by the daggers you wield. It is on a 1-minute cooldown, lashes out at the target, inflicting 24,484 shadow damage, and reducing their movement speed by 60% for 8 seconds. This also grants 30 energy over 6 seconds and awards 3 combo points. Ooh, excuse me. This is an amazing ability. This is one of the better ones I've seen so far. And that leads to Shadow Fangs, a 1-rank passive increasing physical and shadow damage by 5%. Costs 100 artifact power, and as you can see, Blizzard has granted us 100 artifact power just for picking up the weapon. So let's go ahead and click on that. And there we go. The daggers traits have opened up. As you can see, there are 3 with a golden dragon portrait. These are the ones you're going to want to start making your way towards as fast and as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and take a look. As you can see, when we make our way, these will cost 300 artifact power. As of right now, I believe they cost 300 artifact power per rank. There are 3 ranks, and as you can see, this particular one, Gut Ripper, will increase the critical strike chance of Eviscerate by 5%, and that is 5% per rank, so keep that in mind as you're going through. Now we have Cat-like Reflexes, a 3-rank passive increasing the dodge chance by 5% and makes you immune to falling damage. So this one you will fall and you won't take any falling damage, so you can just go up to max height and drop, bet people that you can survive and that they can't, till they figure out that this is one of your traits. Now we have Soul Shadow as a 3-rank passive, increasing the duration of Shadow Blades by 3 seconds. We also have the first of our special traits here, Shadow Nova, a 1-rank passive. When you exit stealth, you explode, dealing 6,173 shadow damage to all nearby enemies. Here we have Ghost Armor, a 3-rank passive, increasing your dodge chance by 3%. Flickering Shadows, a 1-rank passive, activating Sprint and then taking no damage and dealing no damage for 3 seconds, will activate Vanish without triggering its cooldown. Now mind you, these, as of this moment here on the servers, does not affect you in PvP. These will not work in Battlegrounds. So if you're thinking to yourself, whoa, that's super overpowered, rogues are going to ruin all of the Battlegrounds, these don't work there. So keep that in mind. You won't have to worry about rogues hitting Sprint, popping, evasion and Cloak of Shadows, and then vanishing without actually triggering the cooldown. Doesn't work that way. Then we have the Quiet Knife, a 3-rank passive increasing damage dealt by backstab by 3%. And we have another one of our big traits, Akari's Soul, a passive, 1-rank passive. After you use Cheap Shot or Shadow Strike, Akari's Soul appears 4 seconds later and soul rips the target, dealing 25,617 shadow damage. Here we have Fortune's Bite. Shadow Tech, a 3-rank passive. Shadow Techniques has a 5% chance to generate 2 combo points. And Shadow Techniques is... oh god, all of the abilities. Let's take a look. Shadow Techniques is a passive that we have where our auto attacks have a chance to generate a combo point. So, hit the wrong button. So it now has a chance to generate 2 combo points, which would be very helpful. What's that, a 15% extra chance? That's good. Embrace of Darkness, a 1-rank passive. When you enter stealth, you gain a shield, which absorbs damage equal to your attack power. That is very, very powerful. Again, will not work as of right now in PvP. Okay. Precision Strike, a 3-rank passive, which increases damage dealt by Shadow Strike by 10%. That's his Shadow Strike right here. I'll show you those. I'll show you those in a little bit. Then we have a second Shuriken, a 1-rank passive. Shuriken Storm has a chance per target hit to deal 1,120 additional physical damage to that target. Shuriken Storm is basically a fan of knives for Subtlety spec. Energetic Stabbing, a 3-rank passive. Cheap Shot and Shadow Strike have a chance to refund 5 energy. And Demon's Kiss, a 3-rank passive, increases damage dealt by Nightblade by 5%. And Nightblade, what is Nightblade? That is one of our passives, okay. Or not one of our passives, one of our finishers, so it's actually a really strong one. This is basically Rupture. And our last special trait, Finality, a 1-rank passive. After using Nightblade or Eviscerate, your next use of that finishing move is empowered by the Fangs of the Devourer. Now what that means is, I have no idea. I have not had an opportunity to go all the way through and get this. I don't know anyone that has, so I apologize. As of right now, I have no idea what that means. I guess that means that the next finishing move does double, we'll just assume it does double damage or something like that for the time being. Okay, and as you can see up here, we also have relic slots. The third relic slot, of course, cannot be opened until you finish your Rogue Class Order Hall campaign. Once that's done, you'll be able to activate this one and put a relic in there. These two you will be able to activate right away. You're able to put in relics that you get from quests and dungeons and even raids later on. I believe the raid ones go here, but for now, I think you could put the raid ones in here as well. But what they do is they add item levels to your daggers themselves, and they will add extra ranks to your traits. So let's say each one has +1 to Soul Shadows, and you have this maxed out. It would be 5 of 3, so you could have actually 5 into that, and Shadow Blades would be reduced by 15 seconds rather than 9. Do be aware that when you go to put a new relic in these, the one inside of the slot is destroyed. There is no way to take them out. As of now, on the beta, today is July 4th, there is no way to take them out. I don't believe there is any plans for them to make a way to take them out. So when you put it in, or when you're putting it in over another one, make sure you're making a choice that you're okay to stick with. And as you can see, there's a number up here in the top of the corner. Total ranks purchased 1. Every rank that is purchased, every trait that is purchased here, you will gain 0.75% stamina as a passive, up to 34 traits. So you get a little bit of extra base stamina. For tank specs and healer specs as well, you will gain 1% damage for every trait purchased, but of course that doesn't apply to rogues, so you won't have to worry about that. I do want to show you that you can access that screen anywhere in the world just by shift right clicking on the fangs in your inventory. That will bring this up. You're able to put the relic slots in anywhere in the world as well, but you are not able to put artifact power into your weapon, into these traits, without being here at the Crucible of the Uncrowned. You actually have to come back to your class order hall. Don't make a point, or don't make a habit rather, of coming here all the time just to put in one piece. Finish out a zone, finish out a bunch, or when you have to come back to Dalaran for a quest, make sure that you stop by here and put it in. But don't make a point every time you just get 300 artifact power or 500 artifact power of flying back here, hearthing back here, putting it in, and then flying back out. Unless that's your bag. If that's what you like to do, go for it, but it's absolutely not necessary. I don't know why this guy looks like this. It's awesome. He's observing the cosmos. He's a cool dude. We like him. Okay.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, don't even mention it, pal. I'm here for you anytime you need anything. Seriously, though, don't mention it. There's some folks that would do anything to get their hands on this stuff.
Yo!
Look, I won't tell you how to live your life. Not for free, anyways. But I will pass along one bit of advice. Don't do an ounce of work if you can find some sucker to do it for you. There's a communal, bulletin board, let's call it, right outside the tavern. My buddy Nikki can help you get just about anything using that board. You should hit her up.
Oh, hey, while you're there, could you let Nikki know she has 3 days left to pay up? I'm not running a charity over here.
Okay, let's head over to that, and I'll show you this as well.
Hey, how
I don't know
you
nothing
doing?
about nobody. Oh, who am I kidding? I know everything about everybody. How's it going, Shadow?
What's up?
Word is you're heading down to the Broken Isle. Is that true? Soon as news got out about the place, we combed through every book, tome, and paper we could get our hands on. We put together quite the report. You should take a look. While you're here, this board is where is where the magic of the uncrown happens. You can put a bounty on a king's head, offer a reward for felt silk cloth. Just jot down your latest whim, and your agents will take care of it.
Hurry back.
So we click on this, and our UI to pick what zone we will go to pops up. This is going to be used all the time. When you finish a zone, you come back here, next zone, next zone, next zone, etc. Obviously, Suramar, which is this area here, and these two areas are not on the map. Suramar is a 110 zone. This is where you do the opening scenario, and this is where also the Tomb of Sargeras is. And I have no idea what this is, so don't worry about that right now. I believe this is used for some of the Class Hall missions, or the artifact missions. But we'll just pick Stormheim. Doesn't matter. We're not going to do any of that anyway. You can pick, by the way, you can pick any of those zones. Those zones will level with you. So if you start at 100 over here in Stormheim, or 100 over here in Azuna, or Val Shara, or High Mountain, whatever zone you go to at 100 is 100, all the way up to 110. The zones will level with you. Do not worry if you plan on playing and your friend can't play for a day or two. They will still see the zone as if it was their level, and you will see the zone as if it was your level. So if you're 105 and he's 103, the zone will look 105 for you and 103 for him. It doesn't make a difference. You won't have any problems leveling up with a friend.
Interesting.
Great choice. We have tons of intel on that place.
Glad I could help.
Okay, well that's pretty much it for those. Unfortunately, I did find out in my first video that I made for the Rogue Class Hall, it does not open up the Class Hall upgrade vendor for me to show you until I do some quests. Unfortunately, I am not going to be doing that in this video. This is about as far as we're going to go. Also, I'm going to show off talents, animations, and our abilities here in a second, but the Class Hall upgrades you're going to want to keep an eye on. You're going to want to get to those as fast as possible. When you hit a certain level and you get some resources, they will send you here. They will spoon it, feed it to you until you hit 110, and then it's pretty much on your own. At 110, some of those Class Hall upgrades can take anywhere from a week, 10 days, 12 days, and 2 weeks for the final one, which is the most important because it allows you to wear two of these legendaries. Now, these legendaries are incredibly powerful. These are things that you're going to want to have two of, especially if you're someone like me who likes to do as much DPS as possible because you like seeing those big numbers pop up. Some of these have incredibly powerful and unique traits that are granted to you upon equipping. Shadow Strike restores 10 energy plus an additional 1 energy for every 2 yards between you and the target. We have this one. Your attacks that generate combo points deal 15% additional damage as shadow to all targets within 15 yards. These are great. These are really good to have. They're difficult to find, they're difficult to come across, but having two of them is much more powerful than, of course, just having one. So keep that in mind. Keep on top of the Class Hall upgrades. Again, you're not going to have to really go out of your way to find the vendor. It'll be spoon-fed to you as you go along your Class Hall campaign. So you don't want to have a problem finding that. Alright, so now that we've looked at that, one more thing I do want to show you is up here at the top. Order resources. These are basically your garrison resources. You'll get them as you quest. You'll get them at level 110 by doing world quests, which are basically dailies that you can do every day, and they reset all the time. They're used to do garrison missions that will grant you certain things for your order campaign, which you need to have done at some point, and progress in the story, and also they are super useful to getting mission resources that will help you have a better success chance. So you want to keep on top of these. Make sure you're stockpiling them as much as possible. Do not ignore them. When you see them in world quests, they are super useful. Also, you do have followers that you can bring along with you into the world. They're called bodyguards. You can bring your bodyguard with you at all times. So depending on what I don't know if it's depending on what spec in one class. I know you might be able to have, for instance, I don't know this for sure, I haven't played this too far through, you might have Garona, you might have the woman who we just fought, Miss Van Cleef, who can come out in the world with you as a permanent ally in the open world. So keep that in mind. They're really useful. I played the Demon Hunter. You get a really cool ally that comes along with you and fights with you everywhere. So That's pretty much it for the class hall. There are other things that will be spoon-fed to you along the way, but they do have heavy spoilers, and I do not want to ruin that for you. You can ruin that for yourself when Legion drops. So, well, since we've talked about that, we have one more thing. As a matter of fact, I did forget this. For your alts, if you have a rogue alt that you want to take out and, occasionally and do some world quests, there is a kind of a 0.5 tier set that you're able to purchase from this vendor here. Here's kind of a little look at it, just in case you can't see too well. Here's a little look at it. It's pretty cool. Has a little bit of a green effect to it, poison. It's got the dagger through the snake in the middle. This set is anywhere from 810 on some of the pieces to 820 to 830, all the way up to 840. They have certain things. They're obviously 500 gold they're showing right now. That could change at any time. I don't know if that'll be the final price, but as you can see, this one requires you to be max level and exalted with the Nightfallen. This one you have to have earned 100,000 artifact power, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Revered with 2 broken isles, reputations, etc. You would have to do these to be able to earn the set, but it is a good set, and you can upgrade them with these pieces to upgrade them all to 840, so you would have yourself a nice epic set of gear that you could use while you're doing your world questing. So keep that in mind. It might not be super useful except for the 840 pieces for those who are going to be running mythics and running raids right away, but keep this set in mind. Alright, well, let's take a look at our weapons up close as they appear on our character model. They're pretty cool. I gotta say, these are close to the Outlaw Rogue's Dreadblades in terms of the best looking aesthetically. They're much better than the Assassination Rogue's daggers, in my opinion. So there we are. Not bad. I like them. I like them a lot. They did a good job with these. And of course, there are appearance changes that you can get through purchasing them at some point or through achievements, etc. to be able to change the way these look as they showed at BlizzCon a few years ago, or a year ago. Okay, so while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the talents for Subtlety. Subtlety has changed quite a bit. It's much more fun, I think, than Assassination, but it's definitely not my favorite. I do enjoy Outlaw a little bit, but if you are a Subtlety rogue, you do enjoy the aspect of staying in the shadows and being in and out of stealth all the time. We'll take a look at all these. In the 15 tier now we have Master of Subtlety, a passive where attacks made while stealthed and for 6 seconds after breaking stealth cause an additional 10% damage. We have Weapon Master, a passive where your abilities have a 12% chance to hit the target twice each time they deal damage. And then we have Gloomblade, which would replace Backstab, costs 35 energy, and punctures your target with your shadow-infused blade for 15,417 shadow damage, and would award 1 combo point. And Backstab is your basic ability now, where you can hit from the front for 12,672, or from behind for an increased 30% damage. In the 30 tier, we have Night Stalker. While Stealth or Shadow Dance is active, you move 20% faster, and your abilities deal 15% more damage. And we'll talk about some of the abilities like Shadow Dance in just a moment when we're done with the talents. And we have Subterfuge, a passive where your abilities requiring stealth can still be used for 3 seconds after leaving stealth. Also increases the duration of your Shadow Dance by 2 seconds. And we have Shadow Focus, a passive where your abilities cost 20% less energy while Stealth or Shadow Dance is active. In the 45 tier, we have Deeper Stratagem. You may have a maximum of 6 combo points, your finishing moves consume up to 6 combo points, and your finishing moves deal 12% increased damage. In Anticipation is the next one. It's a passive where you may have a maximum of 8 combo points, but your finishers will only consume 5. And then Vigor, a passive that increases your maximum energy by 50, and your your energy regen is increased by 10% as well. In the 60 tier, we have Soothing Darkness, a passive where you heal for 3% of your maximum life every second while stealth is active. Then we have Elusiveness, a passive where Feint also reduces all damage you take from non-area of effect attacks by 30% for 5 seconds. So you would have area of effect and non-area of effect damage reduction. by taking Elusiveness. And Cheat Death, a passive, your fatal attacks instead reduce you to 7% of your maximum health. For 3 seconds afterwards, you would take 85% reduced damage, and that cannot trigger more than once every 2 minutes. In the 75 tier, we have a Strike from the Shadows rather. A passive, Shadow Strike also stuns your target for 2 seconds. Players are dazed for 5 seconds instead. Now I know I've been talking about certain things not working, like your blade traits. As far as I know, all of these will work in PvP. So if you're Subtlety Rogue, if you're interested in playing, Subtlety for PvP and only PvP, I believe all of these talents work. I don't see any reason why these talents wouldn't work in PvP. Prey on the Weak, a passive. Your enemies disabled with your Blind, Kidney Shot, Cheap Shot, or Sap take 10% increased damage from all sources. Tangled Shadow, another passive. Nightblade now decreases the target's movement speed by an additional 20%. And I believe, what is it? Nightblade. Nightblade reduces by 50% now, so it would be 70%. Excuse me. In the 90 tier, Premeditation is a passive where Cheap Shot and Shadow Strike oh jeez, I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. Generate 1 additional combo point. We have Alacrity, a passive. Your finishing moves have a 20% chance per combo point to grant 1% haste for 20 seconds. This stacks up to 25 times. I think this would be the one you would want if you were like running Subtlety and Raids. Because you would have, if you had 5 combo points, it would make it a 100% chance to grant 1% haste for 20 seconds. You could stack that up to 25 times. So as long as you were, piling on the finishing moves, eventually you would have 25% haste constant. So as long as it was a fight where you didn't have to go in and out and in and out and in and out, this would be useful. Enveloping Shadows. This costs 30 energy, consumes 1 to 5 combo points, and it generates 1 combo point every 3 seconds, and it lasts longer per combo point spent. So if you were to take this, build up 5 combo points, use the ability, you would have 30 seconds where you would generate 1 combo point every 3 seconds. So you'd generate 10 combo points in that 30 seconds just passively through Enveloping Shadows. I like this. I don't know if I like it as much as Alacrity. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to. Someone will min-max this eventually when this goes on the live server, so I guess people will be min-maxing. Although on the beta, people are already doing that. But I feel like one of these two might end up being the best for raiders, and then Premeditation would be really good for PvP. And in the 100 tier then, we have Master of Shadows, a passive where you immediately gain 30 energy when you enter stealth or activate Shadow Dance. We have Marked for Death, on a 1 minute cooldown which marks the target, instantly generating 5 combo points. The cooldown is reset if the target dies within 1 minute. And then Death from Above, costs 25 energy, consumes 1 to 5 combo points, and is on a 20-second cooldown, a finishing move that empowers your weapon with shadow energy and performs a devastating 2-part attack. You whirl around, dealing up to 6,289 damage to all enemies within 8 yards, then leap into the air and eviscerate your target on the way back down with such force that it has a 50% stronger effect. And I believe that's the exact same thing on live, so it doesn't have a different animation, so I won't be specking into that to show you what that looks like. Alright, so we've taken a look at that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the abilities that we're given. We have Shadow Step. Shadow Step is the exact same thing as it is on live, and it has no animation difference, so we won't take a look at that too close. And this guy is having a great time over here. But let's take a look at Shuriken Storm. As you can see, it is basically Fan of Knives with a little bit of dark feel to it. I like it though, it's pretty cool. I enjoy that. Then we have Symbols of Death. Symbols of Death, it requires stealth. You can also trigger Shadow Dance to make that work. I'll talk about Shadow Dance actually first. Shadow Dance is on a 1 minute recharge. You have 3 charges at all time, or to start. And it allows the use of all stealth abilities and grants all the combat benefits of stealth for 5 seconds. Now it's 3 seconds if you don't take that one talent, Subterfuge. If you don't take Subterfuge, it lasts for 3 seconds. I'm really bad at the game, or at least bad at being a rogue. So I wanted to extend that so I wouldn't miss out on anything. But it allows you to have the benefits of stealth and your stealth abilities for 5 seconds, and that effect is not broken from taking damage or attacking. So we'll go back to this now. Symbols of Death is on a 10-second cooldown and costs 35 energy. It requires you to be in stealth or to have Shadow Dance. I'll show you right here. See, now I can use it. That's what it looks like when you use it. Invoke Ancient Symbols of Power, increasing all damage you deal by 20% for 35 seconds, and causes your next Shadow Strike to critically strike. This is unaffected by the global cooldown. Now we have Shadow Blades. It's a 3-minute cooldown. Draws upon surrounding shadows to empower your weapons, causing auto attacks to deal shadow damage, and abilities that generate combo points to generate 1 additional combo points, and this ability lasts for 15 seconds. So that's what that looks like. Pretty neat effect. I like it. And again, we have Shadow Dance. We'll show you that one more time when you activate that. Kind of get a purple hue to you. Pretty neat. Blind is the exact same. Vanish has remained the same. Nothing special there. Same for Sprint. Cloak of Shadows, Evasion, and Feint are untouched. As you can see, their animations have not changed. We also have Tricks of the Trade. All the rogues retain that. And we have Backstab, which we talked about. Shadow Strike. This costs 40 energy and has a 25-yard range. Requires daggers and also requires you to be in stealth. So you can only use this from stealth or with the use of Shadow Dance, as you can see. Now we're able to use that. Strike through the shadows, appearing behind your target and dealing 29,077 physical damage while awarding 2 combo points. So we'll go into stealth. And there you go. It kind of shadow steps you to the target and does some damage. Apparently I can auto attack from super far away because of the lag, so that was pretty neat. But that's what Shadow Strike is. Super useful. Again, you can use it in Shadow Dance, so you can see I'm not in stealth. Stunned the target, did a bunch of damage. Pretty cool. And then we have the Gormaw's Bite ability. We'll take a look at that. That was Gormaw's Bite. Got a neat little animation to it. Of course, it'll be difficult to see when there's 20 other people around you using all of their abilities as well, but it's cool nonetheless. And then, of course, Eviscerate is still the same. It's still there. You can see the damages there. At 5 combo points, it will deal baseline 65,125 damage. We have Nightblade, which uses 25 energy and consumes 1 to 5 combo points, and this is a finishing move that infects the target with shadow energy, dealing shadow damage over time and causing attacks against the target to reduce movement speed by 50% for 8 seconds. Lasts longer per combo point. So at 5 points, this would be 85,312 damage over 16 seconds. This is basically your Rupture, and all attacks afterwards kind of slow them. So it's a good use in PvP. Kidney Shot has not changed. Shuriken Toss. Throw a shuriken at an enemy target for 5,123 physical damage. I'll give you an idea of what that looks like here. Back out a little bit. Pretty cool. Nothing spectacular, nothing special. Just a normal shuriken toss. And of course, in stealth, I'll show you these in a second. We have Kick, and we also have a new ability, Crimson Vial. This kind of replaced Recuperate. Every rogue spec has this now. Baseline. This costs 30 energy. It's on a 30-second cooldown. Drink an alchemical concoction that heals you for 30% of your maximum health over 6 seconds. So this is your little heal ability. You no longer have Recuperate. While in stealth, obviously we have Shadow Strike, Symbols of Death, which I actually don't need there. We have Cheap Shot, which obviously stuns a target for 4 seconds. This now awards 3 combo points. I don't know if that's the same on live, but it awards 3 combo points. Shadow Strike awards 2. Sap is the same. And of course we have Distract and Pickpocket. And we still have, of course, Pick Lock. I didn't put that on any of my bars because there would be no reason to. But that's it. That's everything. That's all the abilities. That's all of the neatness that you'll need to see. Overall, I'd have to say, I do like Subtlety. I think they did a pretty good job with this. Assassination seems to be the spec that is the worst at the moment in terms of playability and fluidity. I would definitely think Outlaw is the most fun. Subtlety feels very good as well. I'm not particularly fond of of the way it plays, but I think really good rogues, and especially ones who like to PvP, are going to just massacre people with these new abilities and the new way the spec is set up, being in and out of stealth and having so many ways to stun people. So, guys, I do want to thank you for coming with me on this little journey through the rogue spec of Subtlety. If you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a like. If you'd like to leave me a comment as well, I always appreciate comments. I like to, I love the criticism. If there's something that I didn't cover that you would really like me to go over, or something that you saw and you'd like me to go over one more time or answer the question for you, I'm more than happy to do so. So if you have anything you'd like to say, please let me know. You guys have yourselves a wonderful evening or a wonderful day, depending on where you are in the world. And thank you again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.